Seriously. Always. All these movies are always about things I'm scared about and struggling with, and I feel like others are struggling with as well. The home invasion genre is a primal fear that our house is safe and then someone comes to the house and they have ill intentions is a nightmare for all of us. So I love even just starting at that place of a primal fear. Yeah, well, I'm always looking for some primal fear, you know, let's say in the TV show Servant, it would be you brought someone into your home that's not stable in an intimate way and that the family is at risk, something like that. So these kind of things that are deeply embedded, or the fear of getting old. It came to me to produce, and there was already filmmakers on, and I felt immediately like the story wanted to go in a different direction. The setup of the story was so profound that it's a kind of essentially an emotional 12 Angry Men, a supernatural 12 Angry Men, or a supernatural Sophie's Choice. And you ultimately, I need to see the characters make a choice. I don't care either way, you know, I just need to see them make a choice, you know, whether they say yes or no. Eventually, the people that owned the book, that movie didn't happen, and then they said, hey, we agree with you, and would you want to do a movie version of this where they do make a choice? And I was like, I would. Dave was a dream. These 7 actors were as good as it gets, both as human beings, professionals. I mean, you're always supposed to say something nice about your crew and your actors, right? Everybody always says that. And you know most of the time that's not true, but this case, they were angels. And Dave was the ringleader of the angels. He was just at the perfect place in his life to take a giant risk here. And so glad that I met him. I kind of was thinking that this person wouldn't exist in the world, a giant who could act and who could be vulnerable. Who possibly do this? Dave Bautista exists. I'm trying to think about when I thought about it. It was like a funny thing that I said, you know, I could do this thing in the movie, and everybody laughed, and I said, you know what, let's just shoot it. We'll see if it goes in. And then we put it in, and the audiences loved it, so I was like, okay, well, we'll keep it in. Yeah, I mean, for me, humor is everything. I love doing inappropriate humor or dark humor. I like people giggling nervously. It's always been my instinct to add humor to everything. And you know, when I was a kid and directing movies, that instinct was, I didn't know how to do it well. So most of the time I'd cut it out of the movie. Like any humor that was in Sixth Sense or Unbreakable, I would cut it out because I wasn't quite sure how to incorporate it. And also the marketplace, I don't know if they were ready or for it or not, but then now I'm like, you're ready. So when I did The Visit, I was like, comedy and horror are gonna work together. You know, it's been really interesting. I've never had this situation where I know the next 3 movies. I mean, I have them in my head. I know how I want to do them. I'm so excited. You know, I can't get to them fast enough. And I think that happened because these 2 books came into my life. The movie that became Old and then the movie that became Knock at the Cabin. That wasn't the plan. These movies that I wanted to do get pushed. These 2 movies replace these 2 movies, but not replaced, but just push them. And then while all this time goes on, I had another idea. And so then there was a 3rd idea that came to the table. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm behind in a beautiful way. So hopefully I won't get another book that's sent to me that I fall in love with. Let me just try to get these 3 movies out.